My name is Czarnecki, and this is Gardening and Hope. Gardening and Hope is a system founded in 2021 by a few local boys, me and my brother and a friend, looking to make household maintenance and improvement easier and more accessible to senior citizens throughout New Jersey. We connect senior citizens in need of gardening help with eager workers, and thus we aim to give a sustainable and affordable alternative to people who are in need of household help and looking to make a difference in their community. So, when we founded this project, we first thought that we would be mostly helping people who are spending a lot of time away from home. Since it's a rural area and most people have jobs, they need to upkeep their homes somehow. However, this above opinion changed over time when we saw who employed us the most. So the objective of our organization is to give options to senior citizens in rural areas regarding physical work through allowing them to set their own price. Because most landscaping companies charge large sums for transport and maintenance, since we are in a pretty isolated area and they have to drive a large distance and transport a lot of stuff, as well as get a lot of workers. Usually these sums go above three figures or so. So thus we combine affordability and reinforcement of our community and our mission. Since we support everyone locally, everyone knows us, and we can build connections through this. So the COVID-19 had a pretty large effect on our organization. Originally, it was an obstacle in getting people to help because you had to stay indoors. You weren't supposed to be making contact with people. However, with all the activities that were being cut, we got a lot more time to reach out to people, and we actually saw a pretty substantial increase in the number of people who reached out to us. So, in addition to this, COVID-19 got a lot of people to move away from crowded urban areas to the rural areas, which also helped us start this organization a lot because all of a sudden a lot more people were moving into the area and people needed help with their homes. Yeah. Another part of this is that landscaping companies closed or limited their operations during COVID-19 because of work safety policies and incentives from the government, which further increased our demand. Over here, I have a couple of graphs from Zillow Home Value Index, and as you can see, you have a huge drop in inventory for sale, which shows that there was a huge increase in sales around May of 2020. And this is pretty representative of what happened in our neighborhood as well. Going on, yeah, these communication planning between senior citizens, we set up a website called gardeningathope.com to plan working times. And so how it works is that there is a section on the website which allows people who go on to enter a time, location, and date, and a description of when they would like something to happen. Then people on our side, people who work, can check out the job and see if they want to do it or not. Maybe they can, reach out to them and agree on a deal and something in between, and then they can go ahead and finish the job. This website also provides information about the workers and their impact on the community given by people we have helped over the years. The system has had a pretty large impact on our community. Over the past 3 years, we have worked about 200 hours as a net for the people in our area, including the former mayor of Hope, and she actually gave me the idea for the name. Most of the people we help have some sort of physical impairment or are over retirement age, and they would have been forced to pay large sums to landscaping companies which are not covered by their pensions. So thus we've built a trusting relationship with the people in our community. We've been reaching out to them a lot. We know them well, and they have been spreading the message for us a lot. For example, it all started with the first person we came to help, since she's very connected with all the people in the community. They have a senior group chat. And so after we helped her for a few months, she began to spread the message for us around her own social circle, and more people started to reach out to us. Moving on. So for future goals, we plan to spread the website across as many communities as possible, as for now we're mostly limited to our own township. However, we want to spread this message and this organization across all over New Jersey, hopefully, and maybe even farther someday. However, a secondary goal of Gardening Hope is to study the economic ranges and abilities of our community and others, because we use census data to identify specifics in the communities we work in and to use it to improve the way we approach different areas. So here I have some statistics I got from the US Census. As you can see over here, the population in our county is not very large at all. and there's only 100 people per square mile. It's a very sparsely populated area, which is one of the reasons why it's so hard to get help. And if you look here at this table, you'll see that a pretty large amount of the population is above the age of 50 and nearing the age of 60s and 70s, which which again makes it difficult for them to work. Well, in the end, if you look at working age people, there's not as many, I feel, especially where I look around in my community. There's not that many working age people who are, absent away from home. So we were wrong in our initial preconceptions. If you also look over here at the average household incomes, you'll see that average household incomes are in the 60s, 60,000 to 100,000 range, which is around the pension income, which also goes in line with how much people can pay for these things. Over here, I have the average values of the houses. We have them in the 300 to 400,000. Since again, with it being a large area, you have people with large amounts of space. Usually each house is around 5, 6 acres. And so it goes in line with how much people need help. So in conclusion, Gardening Hope provides work services at a price that is decided by the person requesting the job, allowing us to make an impact on our community that fosters trust and responsibility among each other. We've gathered experience and data that allows us to see who we're looking at when we're reaching out to people, and so how to spread our message better, how to adapt to it, and we aim to share this with as many communities as possible. Thank you. That's Gardening and Hope.